Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about a controversial new thing in Pokemon LOL. Logan Paul drama. Yeah, if you guys don't know who Logan Paul is, he's just this YouTuber. He blew up on YouTube, he has a grip of money. That just kind of sums it up pretty much, honestly. Dude be ballin'. And basically where the drama comes in is he dropped a bunch of money on Pokemon cards. That's pretty much it. That's literally the whole story. And the Pokemon community's all torn up about it. I mean, they're not torn up. I'm hyped on it. I think it's dope. It's like super polarizing though. It's pretty much super polarizing. I don't know. I think some old heads. No offense to old heads. I'm sorry, but a lot of some certain people in the YouTube are kind of bummed on it. I don't know. I know I watched this Pokenomics with Jake and Rafi. Dude, I've watched a couple of his videos. One of them is cool. The other one's kind of annoying, low key. But I'm not trying to throw shade. One of them is super old head, and it's just like, bro, like he's trying to push the narrative of like that this is not that he's pushing that it's bad or whatever. I'm not trying to start YouTube beef, but I mean YouTube beef is views. But anyways, no, like it's just like trying to push the narrative that like people are giving like bad investment advice and all this stuff, and like all this stuff is bad for the hobby and stuff, and who's a real collector and blah blah blah. And it's just kind of annoying. And then it like goes into this whole like Logan Paul thing, and it's like, bro. And it's just like there's two camps. One camp is super hyped on Logan Paul, and they think they'll bring a grip of, I don't know, money into the industry or like into the hobby, I guess, which is true. And then other people who are like more bummed are looking into the whole like long term, you know what I mean? And they think, oh, bro, like this is the end of the beginning, or like this is the beginning of the end because the celebrity's coming in with all this money. And I get that, you know what I mean? It's like not necessarily like the most promising sign because the spike has already been going up like crazy, and then it's like having a celebrity buy into it just makes it go crazy, and people are getting priced out. People are getting priced out of cards that they don't that they want to have, and they're kind of bummed about it in a way. I think that's part of the rationalization too. People are honestly, because we're going to talk about a bubble, and people are like always like, are we in a Pokemon card bubble? Are we in a Pokemon card bubble? And it's like, I don't necessarily. I think we might be, but I think it's not as bad as other bubbles, like the Beanie Baby bubble crash, or like any of that stuff. I've been researching a lot, honestly, if we're gonna be real. But anyways, back to the Logan Paul thing. So basically, he dropped this YouTube video right here, this one. I don't have a mouse right now, so I'm sorry, guys. But he bought a $200,000 box of Pokemon cards, and it was base set first edition. And basically throughout his video, honestly, I mean, low key, I think this is kind of good for like noobs. Like he literally tells you about first edition, he tells you about Shadowless, he tells you about grading, and I don't know. I really don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's kind of hype if we're being real. Like I see a lot of like hipsterism. I don't know. It's just people be hipster about their hobbies, bro. It's like I saw it in skating. I skated a lot growing up, and everyone's hipster. They're like, "Oh, skateboarding's the Olympics." That's not real skateboarding. You know what I mean? Same thing. And it's like, oh, art. Like once art becomes mainstream or music becomes mainstream, people are like, oh, like I don't really like it anymore. It's not the same. And it's like I get it. Things change as money comes in and as media attention drives it. But it's just like, bro, like get over yourself. Like it's a piece of cardboard. And if someone's, I don't know why they're so bummed when their things are going up. It's like, bro, like your cards are going up. And it's like the cards you own are going up. And it's like, yeah, true. The prices of what you want are going up. But it's like, bro, that's hindsight. It just be like that. And so that's the situation. People are bummed. The other camp is very like, oh, Logan Paul, yeah, good for the hobby. Even like, I watched this video. This dude, the guy with all the Charizards, he has like so many. Gary? I'm not really sure his name. But he has a grip of first edition Charizards, and he sold them to Logan Paul personally, on a personal basis. He said, I only sell to people out of heart, out of emotion. And he literally said, I think Logan's a great guy, and I think he's good for the hobby, you know? And I don't know, my vibe from the dude on the right is he thinks he's not good for the hobby. I don't know, that was just my read on the situation. But anyways, but yeah, so why, literally the guy with the most first edition Charizards in in the world is literally saying Logan Paul's good for the hobby. Like, how can you not run that? Logan Paul, right here, is making a video with Leonard. Like, I know it might just be a cash grab for him. Oh, this stuff gets me heated, boys. But I get why they're bummed. You're getting priced out. Things are changing. It's hard for things to change. But also, on the more like less like throwing shade side, I get it. Like when a market like goes up so fast, people think there's gonna be a crash, and I could see that. I could see a crash, but I don't think it'll be as bad as people are predicting it to be. And honestly, we're still early in it, so dude, just make your guap. Who cares? Stop complaining about the long. I mean, if you are a long-term hobbyist, oh man, people get so like hurt about real hobbyists and real collectors versus like people who are just investors and they're just in it for the money. And it's like, dude, there's such a fine balance and nuance between all of it. Like, it's really obvious when someone just does it for the money. You know what I mean? Like, it's like super obvious. But it's like, there's like a hybrid. Like, you can ball out on Pokemon cards if you want to. You can literally ball out on anything if you want to. And this goes back to the skateboarding like example, but it's like, I don't know, you just see it. Like, once people like start skating the Olympics, skaters are like, bro, that's not real skating. And it's like, bro, just let them get their bag. You know what I mean? Like, there's literally still skateboarding. It might not be your definition of skateboarding, but it's like, bro, calm down. Yeah, I get really heated about that because it's like, dude, you can collect cards. Like, I collect cards. I literally started collecting cards again. I spent like $1,000 on Hidden Fates last year when it first came out because I loved Hidden Fates. I was so hyped on the set. I loved collecting Pokemon cards when I was a kid, so I started doing it again. And I slowly started like doing the money aspect of it. And it's like, what's wrong with that? There's literally nothing wrong. And there's like a line between, yo, yeah, you're a savvy collector and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, bro, like, if I wanted to just sell my whole collection and ball out, there's literally nothing wrong with that. That makes me no less of a Pokemon card collector. Like, I love Pokemon. Like, the reason I have the cards I do is because I love Pokemon. And it's like, but sometimes there's a life precedent in which, like, you know? That's all. I just hate the shade and the judgment that's thrown by the community. You know what I mean? No, not everyone's like that, but it's just like those people who are like, oh, I hate investors and I hate all this stuff. And it's like, bro, we're like, people are in it. Whatever draws someone to the hobby is good, I think, personally. Any growth is good. And it's like, if it's entirely based on money, I get it. Like, I get why they're bummed. But it's like, most of the time it's not. Like, why would a random... I mean, now it's going to start getting there in a couple months. Like, with this Logan Paul and people being like, invest in the whole Gary V, and that's fine. It just be like that. But I think everyone who's in the hobby has some intrinsic interest. Adults who see it as an investment thing wouldn't do that at this point, I think, personally. They're like, bro, it's cardboard, it's Pokemon, Pokemon is for kids. That's just my opinion. But anyways, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about the bubble that everyone is so afraid of. I don't think we're in a bubble. I mean, how do I say that? I think we could be, but I don't think the crash is going to be crazy. So, let's see. Logan Paul. This is the craziest thing. So we got the graph of the economic bubble right here. This applies to Bitcoin. This applies to like everything in terms of like bubbles. Also, I watched the Beanie Baby thing. But let's just talk about it. So, Pokemon cards. Also, too, let's talk about this first. But so we're going here. I think we're personally right here in this early phase. How do I show my mouse? Oh my god, I want to show my mouse so bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not redoing this whole video, so I'm not. So just look at takeoff. Takeoff on the bottom left. That's where we're at, honestly. That's where I think we're at. Watch, I'll zoom in, honestly. We're gonna run it somehow. Okay. So, I think we're in the early phases right here. Oh my god, okay, that's not gonna work. I'm sorry, guys. I think we're in takeoff, personally. Some could argue we're in media attention, like more towards the middle. I'm so sorry about the mouse thing, guys. But some could say we're in the media attention part, like right after the first sell-off. But I haven't seen a first sell-off. No one's selling. Well, no, this could be the first sell-off. Personally, people are like moving their cards, sell at an all-time high. And it's like, yeah, there is a high. It's crazy right now. Honestly, yeah, no, I changed my mind. I think we're in for a sell-off right now because people are like, these prices are astronomical, and it's like honestly, I know all of this is like multiplied, like all the prices are multiplied just because of like the virus and all that stuff too. So I'm taking that into account, but it's like if you take that into account too, that's going to be like another year. That's going to be another year at least. In my opinion, I don't know. You know what I mean? But so I think maybe we're in first sell-off, honestly, because right here, bear traps, people are shook are gonna move all their stuff. And guess what? Logan Paul is the media attention right there. And that's where it's at. And Logan Paul's just one part of the media attention. Because I don't know, he could even be the beginning if you really think about it, because it's like in our new society, this I don't think this graph accounts for like the way society works in its new ways, like with social media and influencers and stuff. I watched this other video about streetwear and how that like blew up, but it's like once influencers and social media presences start posting stuff, that's like step two, and that's literally it. Um, but I think we're in the early phases. We still have a lot of time. I think personally, I know the graph. Like, I think we have another year before anything starts to dip, just because of the virus and all that stuff. And then media attention. We're gonna go to enthusiasm. Then we're gonna go to greed. Once people get greedy, I think, and delusion. I watched the Beanie Babies. Once people start thinking they're gonna pay off their kids' college fund with Pokemon cards, it's done. It's so done. You can pay off a kid's college like tuition with a first edition Charizard, to be real. But who's gonna have a first edition Charizard PSA 9? You know what I mean? But once people think like, oh, my base set unlimited Charizard or Charmander, even Charizard maybe. If you think your like unlimited Charizard PSA 7 is gonna pay off like $100,000, then it's delusional. Once people start thinking that, it's done. It's like super done. Because I watched from like Bankrupt by Beanie Babies, and homie literally was like spent like 200,000. He's like, bro, this is gonna pay for all my kids' college funds, and like it don't be like that. So that's where I'm at. I think we still have a good amount of time. And I also think that when the bubble pops or whatever, it's not going to be that bad, in my opinion. It's like SM Pratt talks about it a lot. You should check him out. He's literally the best YouTuber, I think, in terms of Pokemon investing and collecting and stuff, and like expanding your collection and expanding your assets and thinking about mindset of everything. But he talks about it a lot. He's like, there was the Crystal Charizard crash, and it did the thing. It does what I think Pokemon, honestly, personally, is doing. Look, oh, also, Bubble. Bitcoin did the same thing. That's what I was going to see right here. Let me move it over for you guys. Please move over. Okay, it's not moving over. Actually, I'll just click on it for you. But no, Bitcoin literally did the same thing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm recording in the attic because my girlfriend is asleep, and so I got to do it down here. And my laptop kind of slow, though. So, look, same exact pattern as the chart. Yeah, it's this crazy spike and this. And so that's the dot-com bubble. They all follow the same pattern. Like that whole like peak and like the whole like the first sell-off. You guys see it right there at the bottom. And so we might be in the first sell-off, but I think this like whole thing will last like a year at least, just because of the way things are going. And honestly, this is my point for why I don't feel like we're in a bubble. Like, I think it'll definitely crash, but I don't think the crash will be hard, and it'll just keep doing this, like, let's see if I can find it. I'm sorry, my computer is, like, overheating, so we're gonna run it how we can, gamers. Peak and retreat. I don't know the exact, like... like, graph? There's a graph. We'll go to graph. Let me see. Oh, bro. I'm really trying to find one to illustrate it. Okay, this is a good one. I think, hopefully. But so basically, what I was gonna say is with Pokemon. Oh, this is sea level rise, but there's a similar chart with basketball cards. I'm really sorry, guys. I wish I could find it for you. But it's like the up and then it goes down and then it goes up and it goes down. But it constantly goes. It's like constantly going up. I guess the sea level is following the same trend as Pokemon cards. But so basically, what I'm trying to say is like with the Crystal Charizard thing and the whole evolutions like era, like SM Pratt talks about it. It went down, but it like eventually went back up, way past the first peak that it had in that era. So I think Pokemon's just gonna keep doing that because the supply is so limited. Like there's just such a limited supply, especially if you get it on cards like Skyridge, you get it on cards like First Edition, you get it in like those are like so hard to find, it's so scarce. And Pokemon is literally the dude, Logan Paul says it. It's literally the highest grossing media thing ever. And I don't see it going down. Literally, people compare Pokemon to sports cards, and sports cards are insane. And I don't think the crash is going to be that wild. You know what I mean? It just seems like it will go down. That will be a time to buy if you guys can like time that. But I don't think it'll go down like crazy because I think what's gonna happen is like it reaches that high and people are like, bro, this price is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. And then once it reaches too high for people to reach, then it'll start dipping a little bit. It'll start dipping, and then people will be like, oh, this price is like good now. Like this before the good price was here, but it was high and it'll go here. And then people will be like, oh, this is a good price now. And they'll pick it up. They might pick it up here, but it'll still just go back up. It's just the supply of Pokemon cards is too limited. I'm not talking about modern. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of people are super into modern, but I'm talking mainly about vintage. And that's just my opinion. It might be kind of bullish or whatever, as the stock bros say, but it's just my personal opinion. Like, there's too much hype on Pokemon. There's too much of a limited supply. And especially, like, like, graded 10s in certain cards go for a premium. Like, it's just be like that. And as more and more people learn about the hobby, more and more people learn about like these super slept on cards. Like as more and more people learn the stuff that only people on like the E4 forums talk about or like know about, I think it's only gonna go up. And it's like rich people have a grip of money to spend. And Pokemon cards is just like, I think it's like it's accessible, not accessible, but it like appeals to a wide audience of people. And so that's where I'm at. I think we might be in a bubble. I don't think the bubble will pop that hard, though. I don't think the crash will be wild if there is one. I think there definitely will be a dip. I don't know if it'll explode, but that's where I'm at. Maybe I'm too hopeful. Tell me what you guys think, personally. Tell me how you guys feel about it, because I know people are like, oh, sell right now, but I think we're in the first bear trap, personally. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I just don't see it. Just Pokemon seems too hyped, and there's just, like I said, too much limited supply. And honestly, people love holding on to the Pokemon cards. Like, I have a grip of basketball cards with money. I don't really mind selling them. I really don't care. But like, I have like a PSA 8 like Charizard, and I'm like, bro, I want to keep that. You know what I mean? Like, I literally don't care how much it's worth. There's so much more sentimental value and attachment to these things. And people, for me personally, I can't speak for everyone, but there's like attachment to like I'm getting some cards graded, and I know I'm gonna have to keep some of them. Like, I just have to. Like, it's just different. I don't know, Pokemon just built different. And that's just my feelings about it. And so yeah, tell me what you guys think about think in the comments below, and like and subscribe, you know, all that corny YouTube stuff, and we'll see where it goes, guys. I'll show you some of my collection. I don't know, I'm just trying to like, if you guys have any questions or anything, just message me on Instagram. I've been talking to a bunch of people with their questions and stuff. I just do think, honestly, this whole virus thing and the whole like quarantine helped, because I always thought Pokemon cards were undervalued. I just didn't have any money to ball out on them. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think this gave it the push it needed to have its true intrinsic value. Because it's like, people like collecting. And it's like, if you don't like sports, you like Pokemon. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's fun. And it's so much fun right now to get in on it. It's a lot of hype. One tip, don't spend money you don't have. Do not do that. once it's on the news, once your neighbor is like, oh, I'm gonna buy Pokemon cards, fucking dip. Oh, I said a bad word. Heck, I'm not even monetized yet. Help me get monetized. But once your neighbor is like, yo, bro, what's up on this? I don't know. They'll probably talk about modern. They'll probably buy some random team up Charizard or something. You know what I mean? They'll buy some random weird stuff. Once that happens, it's done. It's super done. Hold on to your like first edition PSA 10s and then dip. You know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see what's up. So I wanted to talk about that. I think it's a really interesting topic. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Like and subscribe. DM me, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're 10 likes away from the other giveaway, so I'm gonna do that. We'll do other giveaways once that one's done. So laters, guys.